So today we are going to talk about gluten-free bucatini. And this is something I'm honestly kind of making up on the fly. And the reason I'm doing that is it was inspired by my friend Joan. And she made herself something that looked amazing last week with bucatini in it. And I was like, I wonder if I can find that in gluten-free. Well, turns out I could. I had to go to what we around here sometimes call whole paycheck. But I got this. It was on sale. So it was 2 for $6. So I got this and I got some orzo and both gluten-free, and I'm loving that. So we're going to get started. Something I read not too long ago about garlic, and we're going to have 4 cloves of garlic in this. So this is going to be, there will be no vampires in my house tonight. We're going to start by mushing these guys with the knife, and then we'll peel them. I figure we could, it's easier to chat when we're doing stuff like this. So even though nobody's here yet. So hopefully people show up. Hopefully I remembered to say that that I was going live today. I thought I'd put that stuff up, but who knows. Might ask my IT guy to go on my iPad and see if I've got that in my gluten-free from the 513 group. And if not, I might go ahead and put something in there. So anyway, my friend Joan, she made this beautiful bucatini. I found gluten-free, so I was like, all right, I'm going to try to make a version of this for our family dinner tonight. So it gets me a couple of fun things. First, it's just, I love to try new dishes. I love to make up new recipes. And if this works, I will put this on the website. It doesn't always work. I'm going to pop this in the garbage. All right. All the skins are gone. I guess I probably should take the ends off there too before I did that. But oh well, so be it. But what I read not too long ago was about the types of, there's something in garlic called allicin, and it is a very potent thing, and it very healthy for you. But I also read that it takes a little while for it to come to its full effect. Oh, hello everybody. Okay, so we got Joshua. Hey Joshua. Hello. Thanks for joining me. Happy you're here. Right now we're just chopping up some garlic for a bucatini recipe that I'm trying live. So hello. Sorry about that. I was into what I was doing. I should have been looking at the screen a little more. So anyway, but what I read about garlic is that it actually is more potent if it sits for 5 to 10 minutes at least 5 to 10 minutes before you use it. So I'm going to, even though I don't need this until later, I'm going to chop this up right now, and we're going to let it sit and do its thing. So Joshua, where are you? Where are you from? I love to ask people where they're watching from, because we've had people from all over the place. So some people are close to me, some not. If you don't want to say, that's fine. I understand. Some people don't want to talk about where they're from. They don't want to share that. You can find out where I'm from simply by the name of the channel, which is Gluten Free from the 513. 513 is the area code where I live, and that is near Cincinnati, Ohio. So anyway. All right. I am going to leave this kind of rough chopped because we don't mind it that way. All right, get the rest of this. Ta-da, ta-da. All right, so that's going to sit for later. So here's the deal. It's a bucatini. I believe she had a cream sauce. I'm going to make mine with ricotta cheese. I'm going to do a cheese sauce instead. And then we're going to add some veggies. And because I need protein, we're going to add some protein as well. I'm going to throw this in the garbage. And then we'll rinse the hands here. Hopefully you can still see me. And if not, I'm not far away. So there you go. All right. And my towel is over here. So, ooh, I love that, Doris. I love when I get people from outside my own country. So tell me, what's the weather like in Sweden right now? We're in spring, which means Mother Nature can't seem to make up her mind whether it's going to be cold or warm. Today's a warm, sunny day, so I'm thrilled. But it is supposed to rain the rest of the week, which is fairly common in the Midwest of the United States, unfortunately. Okay, I'm working today with my Ninja. It's a multi-cooker, and it is just about boiling, so I will put the pasta in there when that's ready to go. And I'm gonna put this aside. And honestly, there are so many spring vegetables you could put in this. I'm gonna use asparagus. I'm gonna use peas. I'm gonna toss a little broccoli in there just because we had a family dinner last night, and I got some extra broccoli left over, so I'm gonna toss that in there. And I don't know if I'm going to use all the asparagus, to be honest. I probably won't. But, and then I'm going to add, I like artichokes. My family does not. So I'm just going to make some just for me. But, like I said, I'm going to go back to my friend Joan again. She made this recipe last week, and it looked so good. And I thought, you know what? That'd be a fun one to make on camera. So that's what made me decide to do that. I was delighted that I could find gluten-free bucatini close to me. You could use regular in this recipe. Most of my recipes, you can use non-gluten-free stuff, or they're just naturally gluten-free. Baking is where that's a real problem. So I'm going to move this a little bit to make it easier for me to cut this. This is something I learned how to do a long time ago. I only open half the bag because I know people say just to break it off, but it just, if you really don't want to do it, don't. I do it like this. If I'm going to make a vegetable stock, I'll just keep those, but it's just much easier to do it this way. And I'm going to cut some of them up smaller anyway. So, and if you wanted to, yes, you could grab some of these and do some smaller pieces. So I am going to, we are boiling. So I am going to pop these in there. See how it goes. If you don't know what bucatini is, yeah, a lot of rain here too. That's spring around here. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see if I can get it close enough, but bucatini has a hole in it all the way through. So it is a really good pasta holding the sauce. Like I said, I'm new to the Ninja, so I wasn't really sure how that was going to go. I'm going to set that over here because it's hot. I'm going to pop that in there. Go on, get yourself in there. What I love about this is it does do a lot of things, this Ninja does, but I'm going to have to cover this to bring it back to a boil. And with apologies if anybody is Italian, my family, I love al dente pasta. My family, not so much, especially my husband. He likes it to be a little beyond al dente. So I'm going to wait for that to start boiling again. Keep an eye on the time. But I'm going to take about maybe a third of this asparagus. And I'm going to chop it up a little bit smaller. This comes with it. As a matter of fact, it'll sit up here if I want it to. And then there's also a rack inside. So if you want to steam, or if you're going to braise some meat, or you just want to put something up above, you can prove in there. You can bake in there. Kind of cool, actually. And I'm going to cut these pieces pretty small. just because some of these asparagus are rather thick, and I like them that way, but it'll be easier to eat with the bucatini if we've got it cut up into smaller pieces, and it'll cook faster too. So we are going to do that. And that was easy peasy. And that's part of why I picked this. It's a really easy meal. It's really easy to make it whatever you want it to be, as far as whatever kind of vegetables you want to put in. While we're sitting here, I'm going to also, like I said, I'm going to do some artichokes. So I'm going to chop those up for myself into bite-sized pieces. That's boiling again, so I'm going to give it a quick stir. I keep not trusting that that's going to be, oh yeah, that's breaking up. That's not going to stick. That's lovely. And if you've never had the Bonza pasta before, it's a chickpea pasta, so it's got a lot more protein, which is lovely for, like I said, I'm looking for more protein and fiber. That's what I'm working on. More of both of those in my diet. So we're refocusing on more vegetables, more fiber, and more protein. So hence the reason I will be doing the extra artichokes and stuff. All right, so there's that. I'm going to set that aside. I might need that back in a little bit. I'm going to wash my hand here. So we good, Mr. IT man? Hey, Barbara. Thanks for joining me. We are in the midst of making a bucatini pasta dish with some spring vegetables, and I want to add some chicken and stuff to it. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to make like I said, my friend used sounds like, sorry, my friend used a cream sauce, and I'm going to make a sauce out of part skim ricotta. So I'm going to drain that a little bit because I had a little bit of water on top. We're going to pop that in here. And hey, Veronica, thanks for joining us. All right. So that's in there. Not sure what that was, but I'm not going to stay in there. Looked funny. I'm going to turn this lid a little bit because it's one thing about chickpea pasta and a lot of gluten-free pasta. If you're not, hey, Kimberly. If you're not familiar with gluten-free pasta, several of them are foamy when you cook them, and you learn to expect that a little bit. So I'm currently zesting a lemon. Sorry, I guess you can't really see that, can you? This sauce calls for lemon juice, which I'm about to do. About a tablespoon of lemon juice is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to cut this. And then the dish itself calls for lemon zest and lemon juice. I don't know if I'm going to put that much lemon in it. I don't like that much lemon, typically. I know some people love lemon, but I have never really been a huge fan of sour, to be honest. That's about a tablespoon. Okay. I'm going to put that and that aside. I'm getting better each week. I have fewer dishes. I have fewer things that are freaking me out, if you will. I'm going to give this another little stir just to keep an eye on it. Oh, we're getting there. We are getting there. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna mix that up. Well, that was not good. Okay. And about a tablespoon. I think it was about a tablespoon of olive oil I was going to use. Yep. I looked at several different recipes for this. And again, this is one of those things you can make it your own. If I'd been thinking about it and I actually could still do it, sorry, real time. Those are my dogs. We usually put them upstairs, but it's so nice out today. I just didn't have the heart to do it. So, hey, Mr. IT man, can you come in here for a sec? My son is my IT man. He helps me with these. So, hi, Lucinda. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so can I have those? I'm going to put a little of that oil in there. So I'm going to do just a little bit of that. Thank you. Watch, it's slippery. Agreed. I just got a look of ew. So anyway. All right. Would you grab me some basil? That was something I thought. Yeah. I think I'm going to add a little bit of basil. It's lovely and creamy looking. And my pasta is just about done. So I'm going to move this over here. And I'm going to grab my handy dandy of gloves. If you don't have these things, God, I love these things. I really, really do. Thanks for the hearts. I really appreciate it. So, okay. Our pasta's done. I don't know if you can see that. So, oh, it's mad at me because I took the pot out. Sorry. It'll get over it. All right. So, pasta's out. Pop this back in here. I'm going to use some olive oil. I know it's nonstick, but, you know, olive oil. And wait until that gets shimmery. That's the best term I've ever heard for it, because it's like, how do you know? It should shimmer. And when it gets shimmery, then it's ready to go. Blue can on the left in the back. Nope, your other left. Family teases me and I tease back. So, all right. I'm gonna pop that in there. Anybody else planted their garden yet? If you plant a garden, I've planted mine. I've been told it's too early, but usually I don't get it planted until way later. Okay, I think we're to temperature. So I am going to toss in that asparagus. Yep, nice little sizzle there. Basically, so it's just kind of a bright green. I mean, this is a nice green, but as it cooks, you can already see it's starting to get a little greener, which is lovely. And you, again, this is to your taste, so you do it however you feel happiest. So if you like it a little more crunchy, leave it crunchy. If you like it a little more done, leave it done. Do that. And then I'm going to do the frozen peas next. I think we're going to get done well within time today. I might even try it on camera. You never know. All right, so saute up those peas. Excuse me. then I want to get the peas, just kind of get the chill off them, if you will. So, all right. Got beautiful green veggies in there. One more green veggie, why not? With the broccoli. For those of you in the US, Costco. Gotta love a Costco. I do love Costco. All right, at this point, we're going to put in my favorite chicken stock. Speaking of Costco, Kirkland brand. This calls for, I'm going to do about half a cup. We can always add a little more. Also, the recipes I looked at, and this is an adaptation of about 4 different recipes, but the adaptations that I saw, oh, I should have done this beforehand. Oh well. We're going to toss the garlic in. It's not going to saute. Oh well. Real life, right? Okay, stir that in there. I usually put my ingredients in order, and I didn't have that in the right order. So that's on me. But anywho, okay, so then comes this is where the lemon zest goes in. We're going to add that in. And really, with the amount of pasta that we've got, it won't really taste lemony. It'll just kind of brighten everything up, which is always lovely. And that's starting to sizzle already, so that means we're ready for the cream sauce. That was why I didn't want to use too much of the stock, because I was worried that the sauce would end up too saucy, if you will, too thin. We like a thick sauce. So all right. Get this all stirred in here. It's looking creamy and good. I'm going to take that pasta. I did save some pasta water in case I need it. It doesn't really have the same properties as gluten pasta, but just kind of starting to work this all together. And I'm really kind of just seeing how it's going to stick to the pasta. And I don't know if you guys can see very well, even if I lean it, but let me show you. All right, you can see it's starting to stick, but I might need a little bit of pasta water to help it out. The other thing is, like, if you wanted to at any time, you could add in some, you could add Parmesan in there. It would be delicious. I saw a recipe that had that cooked tomatoes until they burst and made like a creamy pomodoro sauce. A little spicy, added some red chili flake. I'm a baby when it comes to spice. If I go to a Thai restaurant and they say 1 to 5, I say 0 because I'm just a big baby. Hey, is it Yusuf Ahmed or Yusuf Ahmed? I'm not sure which, so I'm just saying hi. And then Christian, thanks for joining me. We are making bucatini with spring vegetables right now. And so now you could serve it this way as a vegetarian dish. Again, my family likes meat. So I have a shredded rotisserie chicken. And I am going to scoop in some of the meat for that. And this is not going to be really heavily sauced, which might make my husband kind of unhappy. He'll be sad because he likes a lot of sauce. But I think it'll be just right. So I'm going to stir this up, incorporate everything, and then I will put it in here. I'll put it in my pasta bowl and I'll show you what it looks like. Just kind of getting everything warmed, completely warmed through. So we're making a pasta dish. Whether you eat gluten-free or not, what's your favorite pasta dish? I would love to know. I've never been to Italy. I would love to go because I hear they have the best gluten-free pasta in the world. Bucket list. I still have a bucket list, I'll tell you. So if you have a favorite pasta dish, love to hear. What is it? I think if my husband picked, it would be lasagna. I think my son's would be no, my son's is I make stuffed shells with a meat and cheese mixture. So I think everything is nice and put together there. I'm going to scoop this out into my pasta bowl. I don't get to use my pasta bowl very often, so this makes me very, very happy. All right. These are very, it said it makes 6 servings. I think it's going to be, and it did say generous, and they weren't kidding. This would be 6 very generous servings. Mr. IT guy, can you bring me some Parmesan? All right, if you're Italian, again, you might want to look away. I buy pre-shredded Parmesan cheese. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on the top when I finally get all of this out of here. Again, good old Kirkland brand. Now, I trust Kirkland because you can also buy a wheel of Parmigiano Reggiano. So how awesome is that, right? Okay. I'm going to leave some of that in there because this is more than enough. I mean, we have a small family, so this could feed a small army. So I would finish this off with some Parmesan. And I can hardly believe that I did this in half an hour. I thought this was going to take so much longer than that. But I'm going to grab one of my pasta bowls. I'm warm. I have my window open, but it's warm in here. So, like I said, I have some artichokes, and that's what I'm going to have, is some lovely artichokes with mine. I'll get those 2 later. And then, you know what? I'll just scoop out of here. I get extra veggies that way. Kind of feel like I'm cheating, but that's okay. But this pasta actually has a lot of protein in it, so I will grab a little bit of extra if I can get it. Don't worry about it. So there you go. Grab myself some Parmesan for this bowl. And yes, I probably need tongs for this, but I'll do that when we have some later. So, goodness gracious. Now, the other thing, if you do eat gluten-free that I have found recently, I found actually a grain-free brownie mix by the maker is Otto. I want to tell you something. They're small. Their mixes make about that much, which if you're the only one eating gluten-free in your family, that's actually a good thing. So, and what I want to do with that is I bought individual ice creams. They're small, 1 serving, and you can make a brownie sundae out of that. And a little whipped cream. I used to eat that when I was pregnant, actually, with my middle child. I craved brownie sundaes. That's how I got this body. But I craved brownie sundaes so badly and we went for them so often back in the day. Um, and that young man just turned 29, so that was a long time ago. But um, they knew us so well at the place where we went to get them made that you walked in the store and the ice cream place was at the back. And by the time my husband got to the back, the lady who was there most evenings had it halfway made for him already. It was hilarious. So anyway, I want to get down there and make sure I get some of that artichoke for myself. And I will tell you how this tastes. We'll see if it's a fail or if it's a definitely make it. All right, so the pasta. The pasta is still very al dente. I thought I cooked it too long, but apparently not. But I'll tell you, the artichokes give it a nice lemony taste too. What this is missing is pepper. Need some pepper, maybe a little bit of salt. But other than that, this is really, really good. I'm going to put, I will put a link when this processes. I will create a recipe and I'll put a link to that in the description. So if you think it's something you'd like to make, I would love for you to give it a try and let me know how you like it. I would love to know what your favorite pasta dish is. If there's something you would like me to cook, I would be happy to do that. Most of the time I cook for an hour, but I got done a lot faster than I thought I would. So I'll be back with something, and usually I cook more than one dish. That's part of it. But today we just did the one dish. And it really wasn't, I thought about doing the dessert, but I didn't quite get everything together for that. So for those of you who celebrate Passover, may you have a peaceful Passover. For those of you who celebrate Easter, may you have a beautiful Easter Sunday, because by the time I come back next week, we will be past Easter. So for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I will see you guys next Monday. I'm also thinking about adding a second live during the week. So if you'd like that, I'd love to hear about that as well. See you guys. Have a good one.